everyone. Welcome to this week's What's Up Wednesday. My name is Rachel, and I'm on the client support team here at ELV. And today I'm joined by Cindy Lawton. Cindy is one of our newest childcare partnership specialists for Mesa County. Thanks so much for joining us today, Cindy.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Today, Cindy's going to be sharing with us her experience utilizing the Shared Services Resource Platform as a director of a childcare center in the state of Colorado. And while we will be talking specifically about the Colorado Resource Platform, please note that this shared services resource is available currently in 33 different states, including the District of Columbia. So I'll share a link in the description of this video so you can find out if it's available where you're located. But real quick, before we get started, just a few things I'd like to go over. First, thank you to everybody who's watching live with us today. If you have not heard of Early Learning Ventures before, we are a 501c3 nonprofit based out of Colorado, and our mission is to expand access to quality and affordable childcare. Just one of the ways we focus our efforts on improving the quality of early childcare programs is by providing these resources and sharing knowledge through these weekly What's Up Wednesday videos. These videos are live here on Facebook every Wednesday at 1:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So each week I bring in somebody new that we can meet with and who can share knowledge and resources that maybe you, your team, or the families that you work with might benefit from. So if you're watching live, can please interact with us in the comments. If you have questions, let us know. I'll be watching out for them. I've got the video up on my phone and here on my screen so that I don't miss any questions. Please feel free to interact with us and then share these videos with your colleagues, your friends, and your families to help get the word out for anyone who might benefit. All right, so let's get started. Cindy, why don't you start us off by telling us a bit about yourself and your role here with ELV and just your background prior to starting with us.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rachel. So I've been at ELV now for just about a month. I came on as an early Head Start childcare partnership specialist here in Mesa County. Prior to this, I was a director of a large facility. We were licensed for 206 spots from infants up to preschool. Prior to that, a school age program. So I've been in education for quite some time, born and raised here in Mesa County, so pretty strong ties here to the community, and really just took this role as a shift, being a director for a long time, and then now I get to support families and directors and teachers in a whole different capacity. So it's something I'm really looking forward to.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy, and we're really excited to have you on the team.
Thank you.
So just some background information on the ECE Shared Resources platform. So it is essentially an extensive knowledge hub that provides tools and resources to address the diversified needs of early childhood education and care professionals. As of today, as I mentioned, it is currently being utilized in 33 different states, and we are a proud sponsor of the ECE Shared Services Colorado. So we provide this resource platform for free for anyone in the ECE field in Colorado. The Shared Services Initiative supports quality care in thousands of family and center-based childcare programs who serve hundreds and thousands of children across the United States. So Cindy is here today to just shed some light on some of these amazing features and resources for those of you in the state of Colorado. So go ahead, Cindy.
All right. Thanks, Rachel. So absolutely. I think this resource platform is something that honestly, I was utilizing ELV Core as a director, and it was something that I know was told to me, early on. And it was, kind of one of those things when you're onboarding to a new facility and a new program, you don't remember a lot of everything that gets told to you. And so I kind of rediscovered it a little bit into running my program. And honestly, the sheer number of resources that are available on there, so many things that I have watched directors try to create on their own or try to, ask other directors, and everybody's kind of recreating these same things. So many of these pieces are available on the platform. I think one of the big pieces that I used, the tab on that ECE platform, is the successful program management. And it is like having almost a built-in HR support. So there's links for policies, all of your onboarding documents. You have to have certain employment verification and all of these documents that you tend to have to go out on, the web to try to find, and they're all housed in one area. Also kind of templates for doing orientation. A lot of directors, that first time you take a step into management, even figuring out how to do your onboarding of your staff can be a little bit overwhelming to make sure that you get everything covered, all of the correct documentation. And there's a full orientation list, there's checklists, there's resources for writing policies from, your just any policy you can think of really that you need to have here in Colorado has really been available, or at least a template for me to be able to pull from that to create our handbook. Another thing that was really important to me was the performance appraisals. As a teacher, I really wanted to know how I was doing and what was expected of me. And that's a big piece, again, to even figure out as a director how to begin even with your performance appraisals and evaluations. And there's supports and resources for that as well. So really kind of that whole encompassing piece of onboarding your staff, even helping them kind of understand what their wages and what their benefits look like, some templates to help them, clarify that, which is, I think, helps people be a little bit more competitive if you're spelling out not just your wages, but also what benefits you might be offering to your employees. So that piece, I cannot tell you, I've shared it with other directors. People would call me asking me for help for writing policy. And I'm like, hold on, there's a link, there's a place. And so it's really nice to be able to support people and then know that it's quality work too. You're not just pulling a Google image off of the internet. It's really something that's intentionally thought out for childcare providers in our area.
Yeah. I mean, you guys wear so many different hats in the childcare field, and as educators and teachers and owners, directors, all of those things. So I think any resources like this that can just help take some of the workload off of you is huge, and definitely something that should be taken advantage of.
Absolutely. I think, and I think that business piece is something that can be a little intimidating. So many of us get into the field because we love serving families and children, and we love working with kids. And so that business piece can really help, kind of intimidate people, or can cause some hiccups in that programming. And so this is just a way to help support and streamline those pieces as well.
Yeah. And on the topic of staff as well, I do want to mention that you do have access to Acquire for Hire through the Colorado Resource Platform. Mm-hmm. So if you are hiring, you can post job openings for free and look for available job openings as well. And that's
Absolutely.
Huge.
Yes.
And no cost.
Free is always good as a director, for sure.
It is, yeah.
I think the next section too, Rachel, that I wanted to talk about was the, in the classroom resources, which again, managing whether you have one employee or 50 employees, I think, again, managing those classrooms to have some continuity between the programming, between what the teacher's expectations are. A big piece with us has been, the observation and assessment piece, really getting in those classrooms and doing quality, authentic observations and assessments on the children so that we can open those conversations with parents for parent-teacher conferences. And so, again, tons of resources on there, links to, some quality observation assessment videos on how to complete those observations and assessments rather than just handing a teacher an assessment form, but really those tips and resources on how to perform those quality, I think is huge for these children too, to make sure that we're identifying their strengths in those areas where we maybe need to support them with our programming and our curriculum, which honestly goes straight into that next section, that there's a lot of curriculum resources on there too. So certainly there's information for those, like creative curriculum and a lot of those big curriculum programs, which are amazing. And there's also some lesson plan templates if you're, want to empower the teachers to help create their own lesson plans and be a little bit more individualized with what they're doing. Again, there's so many things on there that these teachers can utilize as a resource for nutrition, for social emotional regulation, those big areas that are so important for us as we're working with this, early childhood group, that we don't have to go out and start to finish, write a lesson plan. There's templates, there's ideas, there's videos, there's links, there's a lot of that documentation about the why we need to do some of these things, not just telling us it's important, but helping those teachers, which I think helps get that buy-in from them if they kind of understand the why and the how behind things, instead of as a director saying, make sure you hit these content areas, but let's talk about it, let's break it apart and give them resources, because teachers are so busy and they have so much going on. I think the more that we can put in front of them and just really support them and empower them at the same time is just going to help them be more successful in the classrooms.
Yeah. I mean, it's like having someone there to guide you and hold your hand and help you along the way with every step.
Yes, absolutely. The last thing that I really was important for me to touch on was the engaging families section. That personally as a director was huge for me, especially, post-COVID, where we had to spend so much time away from families and we had to start getting really creative with how we were working on our engagement. And so I think bringing those families back in, connecting with those families and those teachers and those children and all of their age groups is something that is really important. It's certainly very important from a, quality standpoint for a program as well. And so there's a lot of resources in there, even templates for newsletters, which, we all love to put out newsletters, but it can be overwhelming to format and plan and think about those and how we want to send them out. And so again, having templates available so that we can just get those, filled out and get them out to the families and kind of help bring that connection piece. Even, a lot of stuff about event planning and some ideas for events for your centers. And then a lot of things, for cultural, responsiveness and making sure that we're creating inclusive environments and making sure that we're welcoming all of our families in an appropriate manner. And so many of those supports and resources are located on there as well. So I think, there's so much information on there that I know sometimes that can get a little bit maybe intimidating for some people, but it's really well organized. You can kind of go to your content specific area and so many, fillable things, downloadable things, and just links to those videos and supports that are just, I think, really underutilized by directors and would really help take some time and some pressure off of these directors to make sure that they have everything that they need.
Yeah, and hopefully for anyone who has felt intimidated by this, because you're right, there is a lot of information there, but hopefully this helps to sort of give some like suggestions and ideas and like things to look for. And those templates, you can really customize them as you'd like you mentioned, the newsletter templates, you can totally go in and make it your own, but it's just nice to like have a guideline to follow or something to get the ball rolling, give you some ideas. That's
absolutely
huge.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you so much, Cindy. I really appreciate you sharing all of that with us. And again, if you are not in the state of Colorado, please click the link in the description of this video to find out if the shared ECE resource platform is available where you are located. If you are in Colorado, I did put a link for you to register for a free account today. So don't wait to get access to these incredible resources. Currently, there is a Lakeshore discount available that gives you 10% off and free shipping after your first purchase. And for discount school supplies as well, you can receive 20% off almost all of their currently in stock items, including clearance items and free shipping if you spend $199 or more. These are just two examples of the many different discounts and money saving opportunities. And, as Cindy mentioned, there's a ton of other resources there as well. So if you have any questions at all, please email myself or our client support team. Both of those emails are in the description of this video. The client support team email address is elvclientsupport@earlylearningventures.org. So please reach out and we would be happy to help you with creating your account or just helping you look for something specific. So remember also to share these What's Up videos, What's Up Wednesday videos with your friends and families and colleagues and just help spread the word. If you or someone you know is interested in joining me for one of these videos, please email me. I would love to chat about it. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.